So when everybody was talking about the revenue split and some of the changes that have come up, right, here recently with Twitch, Mtashed kind of went on the record to talk about some stuff. And if you guys don't know Mtashed, he is he used to be a Destiny streamer. That's how I met him. And he streams Genshin now, currently. He kind of goes on record to talk about streaming and the difference between streaming and YouTube. And he kind of says some stuff that is actually really, really interesting. And if you've ever thought about content creation, this is a very important takeaway.
In the press release from Twitch, one of the things they kind of...
So let me turn this up. How you doing, Panda Launcher? So this is something that he said, and it's a really good take.
Hey everyone, Mtashed here, and there's something I wanted to talk about because in the press release from Twitch, one of the things they kind of talked about is if you do 200 hours of streaming, so 50 hours a week, right?
So
an incredible amount.
So real quick, he clarifies some numbers down here below about the Twitch offer, and he clarifies the numbers. And in part of the clarification, he does say that the value of Twitch's ad incentive is actually a little bit higher than what he ballparks here, but it's still abysmal compared to the other stuff that he talks about. So I do want to clear that up real quick.
Amount of time, and you average 100 concurrent viewers for that whole time, which puts you in a very high level of Twitch, which a lot of people don't realize.
That's true. 100 concurrent viewers is still considered a tiny streamer by Twitch's standards, but in all actuality, puts you in the top echelon of Twitch, like the top 0.0102%. So 100 concurrent viewers is still a lot of viewers. Even though like big companies and stuff view anybody short of a few thousand as tiny, getting to that 100 viewers is... Getting to that 100 viewer threshold is literally huge.
Getting 100 viewers is not easy. So stream a massive amount of hours and be a very successful streamer, viewerage-wise.
Right.
You can make $1,000 of ad revenue. That is absolute dog meat. That is so bad per hour spent, obviously. But if you were to take those same amount of hours...
Now, this is where it gets interesting.
Put it into YouTube, you would be a lot better off. Now, I want to show you this because I think this paints a very good example. If you look at this right here, I searched which Battlefield is best tier list. I know this is specific, but I wanted to make sure that I showed
Now,
this.
he's making a point here.
Battlefield tier list. I want you to notice something here. Let me just put a little space there. One of the most recommended videos here, 1.4 million views. It's a year ago.
You have been,
I'm going to search this again. Battlefield tier list.
He shows like actual numbers. He shows actual numbers, which nobody shows. And that is where it gets to something that, as a content creator, seeing the actual numbers that he shows here in a minute, you're just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Still the most recommended video for a Battlefield tier list. Some of these things may have changed, right? But this is the most recommended one. It's got an awesome thumbnail. It's got 1.4 million views, and this is from Patty Cakes. Now, Patty Cakes is a Destiny content creator.
Patty Cakes is a big content creator. Like, a lot of people know Patty Cakes, and what Mtashed is getting ready to touch on here is the fact that Patty Cakes made a brand new channel just for the Battlefield content. So that's what he's getting ready to touch on here.
But this was one of, if not the first video he ever made on the channel, and it generated 1.4 million views. And he never really committed to this channel long term because Battlefield kind of flopped.
Right, Battlefield did flop.
A brand new YouTube channel with a great title, great premise, a well-made video, good thumbnail, got 1.4 million views. Because of the search algorithm, a new Battlefield was coming out. People are curious about Battlefield. They're searching it up. They ended up finding him on a brand new channel. Now, did he shout this out on his other channel? I'm sure he did.
Yep.
Did he get extra views because of his other channel? I'm sure he did.
So I'm going to kind of gloss through that because it's not really that important. He just kind of talks about Patty Cake.
Thought-provoking.
He talks about, so what he does, he talks about Patty Cake and talks about making thought-provoking YouTube videos and quality YouTube content, and how making good quality YouTube content is very, very important. Okay, so that's kind of what he's going over now is just, hey, if you're going to make YouTube content, invest the time, make good YouTube content. Don't put shit out, is pretty much what Mtashed is saying here.
You would make more than $1,000 because this video, you know, if the channel was monetized at the time, with this long of a video, this could see anywhere from $4,000 to like $15,000.
Name of the video. The important part is when we get to Mtashed's video. So this is, I ranked every Battlefield game in a tier list video, is what that is. This video right here is directly pulled from his Twitter, Mtashed's Twitter. But the important part is here in a second when he shows his analytics, and he shows something that most people don't show. And Mtashed has done that before with Twitch. Going live on Twitch, he's went right over to his monetization screen on accident and shown exactly how much money he was making on Twitch for the month.
If you want a bit of a breakdown here, I'm going to show you something.
So here's his channel.
If I go to my channel here, and we look at some of my videos, and we go by most viewed. I'm going to show you this right now because I want to put some context in. 1.3 million videos, 1.5 million videos, or million views. I'm going to click on this one because it's very similar.
So this video he just clicked on is very similar in like the 1.2, 1.4 million views video, okay?
Genshin is notoriously bad for revenue. The CPM is notoriously bad. This video generated...
Look at his number. That video got 1.5 million views, and his estimated revenue from the time that video went live to date, and you can look and see this is a long-term video, okay? This is 2 years, so this video is 2 years old, right? Because you have to take that into consideration. So even if you cut that in half, that's $4,000 a year. And he made most of that in the upfront, right? And then it just slowly trailed up because he hit the 1 million view mark around 1 year, and then he got another he got another 400,000 views roughly that next year.
$7,000 in revenue. And some of it is passive, and it's still generating some views, right?
And it's still generating views, which means it's still generating revenue for him.
But I guarantee if you put in time to...
So to take that into like consideration, right? Like he's uploading videos daily, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 videos a week. And not all of his videos are going to be bangers like this. But the important part is that you get that constant revenue, and the amount of time and effort you put in pays off a lot different. Yeah, did the same thing today. He makes 210. He said he's going to take a 15% pay cut. Yep, just based on the new changes that they've made for those guys. Because those guys are the ones that are getting hurt. Like me, it doesn't affect me at all. But that's why you're seeing a lot of these big content creators who have been creating content for 5 and 10 years, speaking out to people like me and other content creators who are really trying to make a go at it in trying to help us point the tip of our spear. And Terea, my community manager for a year, has been preaching that I need to focus on some of this more long-term content. But with how shaky the direction of the channel had been since we left Phasmo, right? So since I left Phasmo, Terea has been very adamant about you need to point your spear someplace. And we haven't settled on where until here recently with Destiny. So up until then, I didn't take the time and the initiative to really focus on where I want to point the tip of our spear. And that's what we're going to start working on more moving forward. And it's nice when you see these big mega creators come out with honest numbers, because these guys are at the top. So like I'm up top, like my numbers are shit on Twitch right now, right? Let me show you something. So this says it's up +5 from last month. This is skewed my analytics a little bit. So we'll take our ranking with a grain of salt, right? So there's like 8 million Twitch streamers, and I am ranked 29,000 in the world out of 8 million people, right? I am the top 0.38%. So I'm above the top 1%. I'm the top 0.4%. I'm the top 0.5% of all Twitch streamers, right? These guys, like somebody like Mtashed, they're like the top 0.01. They're the people who really, really made it. The rest of us, even at my level, we're not raking in a bunch of money. So the people like Mtashed and like Leopold and all these Grenader Jake and Glad and Fallout and some of these guys, and even Fallout's numbers are a little bit lower than some of the guys pushing 1-2,000. Those guys' numbers are in the stratosphere. So it's nice to hear them point at stuff for guys like us, guys and girls like us, who want to try to get to that level to see it. So it's nice to see them talk about, hey, you might really want to focus on other things.
Making quality content, you will do so much better than Twitch in 99.99% of situations, because no one has to look at my view.
This next line he says a line here in a second, and it's very painful. Hold on, let me see this. He says a line here in a second, and it's very painful to hear as a Twitch streamer, but it is probably the most truth that you'll hear. And there are, like, I'm going to put a caveat on that and say that there are exceptions to what he's getting ready to say, but for large streamers, mega streamers, people that make it, people that are making good money at it, what he says is 100% honest. And it's a tough pill to swallow.
Accounts. No one has to find me on YouTube. They have to find this video. And it's a lot easier to find this video and make a video with a good topic and a good premise and something that people care about than it is for them to care about you.
That right there.
They don't have a reason to care about you. They don't have a reason to click on your face, but they do have a reason to understand, well, how do I get overpowered artifacts and get...
Exactly. Nobody skimming through a directory has any reason to give a shit about you as a person while they're skimming over everybody else there. You can do things and you can set up a nice background and look nice and look professional, but there's no incentive for any one person to stop and click you versus anybody else in the directory. And in YouTube, there's a little bit of a different system because you're putting information that people want right at their fingertips. Now, once they find that, they find the information, they digest the information, and then they care about the person who made the video. But just skimming through the directory, there's no pick me sign you can put on your Twitch stream that's going to guarantee people come watch me every day versus watching one of the top 20 streamers. There's literally nothing I can do. But if I can put a good, thought-provoking, provocative video out there with information people want, they'll find that, they'll enjoy it, and then they'll come find me.
Genshin Impact. How do I get that amazing sword in New World? You know, like, there are so many opportunities on YouTube, and people are lost if they think that Twitch is going to compete with YouTube in any fashion in 2022, going into 2023. You will not make it on Twitch because there's no discoverability. There's so much competition, but the work conditions, the pay, all of it is dog meat. It's terrible. I would never, ever, recommend Twitch to anyone. I would never tell anyone to commit time to Twitch before they had a YouTube. Ever. I wouldn't even tell people to go on Twitch before they were posting regularly on TikTok. There's almost no situation where I would recommend you spend time streaming ever. Unless you wanted to do it on the side, to build up your brand on the side. The only reason I stream is so that I can do this right here and make Mtashed clips happen. Hey, this channel, Mtashed Clips, the only reason I stream for the most part is to keep this channel up and running and posting clips, multiple clips a day.
Now this guy is literally, he is somebody that I have respected for a long time as both a streamer, but as a YouTube personality. I started out watching YouTube videos. That's what I did. And I loved watching YouTube videos. YouTube videos are how I, as a gamer, progressed gaming, right? I would get stuck. I wouldn't go to Twitch and watch somebody on Twitch tell me how to be better at gaming. I would go watch a 5 or 10 minute YouTube video on how to do something or how to get the best shit, and I would go right back into gaming. So I found Mtashed from watching his YouTube videos, and then would support him by watching him live while I was gaming. So I used to put Mtashed's stream up in the background and lurk while I gamed. And I did that because I wanted to help him out, because I enjoyed his content, and his content helped me so much. So to see somebody that I know, and I don't know, but somebody that I respect as a content creator put this information out there in a way that is clear, concise, and to the point, really helps me as a content creator who's wanting to continue to do this full time, keep pushing forward. I think Twitch is hurting itself. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I think some of the directions Twitch is taking will hurt the company in a way that pushes people to explore hitting the go live button other places, if that makes sense. Like, Twitch is making more money than they ever have, and Amazon couldn't give a shit if Twitch went belly up tomorrow, because they've made all their money off of it. They couldn't care less. The definition of the long run, though, I would say, it's good. It's a good question. I would say, like, over the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years. Over the next 5 to 10 years, if Twitch continues to do some of the practices they are, I think that what you will see, because I think that YouTube is trying to position itself in a way that Google positioned itself. Google positioned itself to be the search engine. Google is synonymous with searching anymore. And right now, Twitch is synonymous with live stream. And I think that YouTube is trying to take over video service to where when you think about watching a video, you're going to just think YouTube. And I think YouTube wants to try to position itself to where live content is through YouTube, shorts are through YouTube, videos are through YouTube. Most streamers have 5 to 10 years of patience. I mean, some of the best streamers that I watch have been streaming Destiny for 8 years plus. Like, not every streamer can make it 10 plus years, but, you know, some of the best streamers have been doing it since it was Justin TV, right? It will take YouTube forever to get that crown. I think it'll take YouTube a very long time to get the crown, and they might not ever take the crown. But if they continue to do things that make top talent and large communities want to leave, and those top talents and larger communities leave and go to a platform like YouTube, and then YouTube finds a way to make its live video better, like its live viewing experience better, or at least on par with Twitch's. I mean, you know, YouTube gets millions of views a day, but most of those views go to the top 15 or 20 streamers. Do you know what I mean? It's just not a fun experience. It's a shit experience. Mass exodus to shift viewers. I agree. Good, you're going to lose all your favorite. It's just bad. Yep. So I think that nothing's going to happen today. Nothing's going to happen this year. Nothing's going to happen next year or the year after. But if the top end of your creators go someplace else, does that create a vacuum for smaller creators? Absolutely. And that creates a way for smaller creators to be found and grow a community and then move to something bigger. the big takeaway that I really wanted to make from this, and the only reason I brought this up was because I wanted to show that some of the bigger creators are talking about it and are showing how they're staying financially solvent and viable and where everything's coming from. And it's good to see, for me, a creator that I enjoy and respect, just break down his numbers. Yeah.
That is the main reason why. Because I understand that this leads to more viewership for me on YouTube. It leads to more viewership for me on Twitch. I get more discoverability because of this YouTube Clips channel than I do from my own Twitch. The influx of viewers that come in, new viewers that come in, is higher being dragged from here than people actually finding me on their own platform. And I am one of the biggest streamers. If you look at the big statistics here, 1,500 viewers, 2,000 viewers in a lot of my streams. My sub count's trash, but that's another question or another story. I'm in like the top 1%.
Genshin. And what he just said there, and he talked about that earlier when he was talking about like Genshin. Like certain games have a better sub ratio and gift ratio to viewers than others. A game like Phasmo, you might see your favorite Phasmo creator with 60, 70, 80, 90 viewers rocking 1,000 to 2,000 subs. But then you might go to like your favorite Destiny streamer who rocks 500 viewers and they might barely get 700 subs a month. It's just the difference in those types of communities. And that's kind of what he's talking about there.
I don't even like Twitch. I think it's terrible. It's a terrible website for building your brand. Unless you're Mizkiff. Unless you're one of... maybe I shouldn't say that one.
And that Mizkiff was a stab at what's going on.
Unless you're one of the biggest people out there, you're going to have a bad time on Twitch. That's all I have to say.
I just wanted to point that out. It was just something that I just wanted to throw out.